SimplePractice's online scheduling tool is really powerful. However, for some people, it can be intimidating to set that up. One of the common fears is that people feel like they're going to lose control when they try out this feature. They feel like they need to block off an entire day, but this is not the case at all. That's why today we're going to learn how to test out the feature just using a 2-hour block of time. My name is Matt Ryan. I am a therapist and group practice owner based in New York City. And if you want to check out other videos all about how to run and grow an efficient practice, then you can check out my YouTube page, which is linked down below in the description. And also down below in the description, you'll find my referral link, which you can use to get an extended free trial for SimplePractice. This is the platform that I use for my own practice. It makes my workflows seamless and easy to use. I highly recommend it. So in today's video, we're going to jump into SimplePractice and set up a 2-hour block of time for phone consultations to test out the online scheduling tool. And there are going to be 3 areas that we need to customize: your appointment request settings, the services, and your availability. And so you can see here on my own SimplePractice calendar, I have phone consults available for online scheduling from 12 to 2 every Friday. So let's start with your appointment request settings. So here we are in SimplePractice. You're going to navigate over here to the left-hand side, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to click Settings. You're then going to go to Client Portal under the Client Communication section. And now we're going to see here this section for online appointment requests. Now you can toggle this on or off. Now, obviously, we do want to go ahead and have this enabled because we are working on scheduling online appointments. So make sure this is toggled on. And then below that, you're going to see there are several places for customization. So the first thing is you can decide on what recurrence you want to have your appointment. So do you want it to happen on the full hour, on the half hour, on the quarter hour? You can go ahead and customize this to your liking. For this demonstration, we're going to do it on the half an hour. So we can have appointments available from 9 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10, this kind of thing. And then you can also customize how much lead time you want to have or how far in advance a client can request an appointment. So if you don't want any last minute requests, you want to make sure that this is set to something like 2 days before start time or 3 days before start time. If you choose something like 1 hour before start time, then a client's going to be able to log in and book an appointment an hour before the start time. If this works for you, then great. If not, choose something like 2 days before start time. And then you can say, and up to how many weeks in advance. So if you don't want clients to be able to schedule too far out in advance, go ahead and make this something like 4 weeks or 2 weeks in advance. Now you can go as far as 6 months in advance. But again, this is up to your personal preference and how your practice operates. And next, you can decide whether or not new clients can request appointments, or you can customize it so that only your current clients can go in and schedule appointments. Now again, we want it so that new clients can schedule because this is going to be for a phone consultation so that new folks can go ahead and schedule with us. So we're going to make sure that this is set to yes. And then moving down, you can decide which kind of clients are able to schedule with you. So is it going to be individual clients? Is it going to be couples? Or new contacts on behalf of someone else? For the sake of this video, we're going to do new individual clients only. And then you can decide whether or not a credit card is required for booking an online appointment. In this case, we're going to go ahead and select no because we don't require a credit card for a free phone consultation. And then finally, you can check the box for document upload. This doesn't matter too much for a phone consultation because a client is probably not sending you anything. But if you wanted to have this option available, you could. But for now, we're going to check this off so that a client cannot upload a document. We're then going to go ahead and click Save Settings. And then next, we want to learn how to create a service for your phone consultations. And the folks over at SimplePractice made this quite simple. So right from the client portal settings that we were just in, you're going to notice that next to the section that says, can new clients request appointments on the right-hand side, there's a link that says Billing and Services. We're going to go ahead and click this. And then in here, by default, you're going to see some standard services already created. So psychotherapy 45, initial phone consultation, psychotherapy 60, group therapy. Now we already have the initial phone consultation created here, but I'm going to show you how to create it again so that you can do this yourself. So in this page, we're going to go ahead and click Add New Service. And this is what's going to be displayed to clients when they're scheduling online. So maybe we want to call this a new client phone consult. You can name it whatever you like, but make sure it's clear and descriptive so that the client knows what they're scheduling, right? So there's that. And then you're also going to see service. And this is going to be a service code. Now for standard therapy appointments, like a 45-minute session, there's standard codes like 90834, or for 60 minutes, 90837. However, for a new client phone consultation, I don't think there are any specific codes, so we have to create our own. This is not really a problem though. We're going to go in, we're going to click the little arrow next to service, and then we're going to be able to create our own service code. You can make it something simple like 5 zeros, right? It will allow you to do that. Or you can even go in and just type in something like phone. And it will say, do you want to add a new code? You can click add new code, and there you go, phone pops up for this service. And underneath, we're going to see that we can choose the rate and the default duration. So for the rate, we're going to have $0. This is a free phone consultation. And for the default duration, we're going to make this 30 minutes because remember, we want our appointments to recur every 30 minutes, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, that kind of thing. And then a couple other settings that you want to adjust are the booking options. So we want to make sure that the available for online appointment requests is checked because again, we want this phone consultation to be something a client can schedule online. So go ahead and make sure that that box is checked. We also want to make sure that allow for new clients is also checked because again, this is a phone consultation, an introductory call. We want new clients to be able to go in and schedule an appointment. So go ahead and make sure that is checked as well. If it's not checked, then only existing clients within your SimplePractice platform will be able to schedule. And then we want to make sure that this one, require clients to call to request available appointment, is unchecked. Make sure that this is not checked off because if it is, then it will block your online availability and nothing will display as available. So go ahead and make sure that this is checked off. And then you can go ahead and customize how many minutes before and how many minutes after the appointment, right? So let's say you do a 30-minute phone consultation, yet you want 5 minutes before to prepare and 5 minutes after to write the note. You can say block off 5 minutes before and block off 5 minutes after. And so what you're going to have on the calendar displayed is a 5-minute buffer window, the phone consultation for 30 minutes, and then a 5-minute buffer after the consultation. And you can customize this to be whatever you would like. And then we're simply going to click Save. And that's it. You've now set up a new service, a phone consultation that clients can schedule online. And so the last thing we want to do is set up availability in our calendar. And this is really, really simple. So when you're in your calendar at the top right, you're going to see the button called Availability. You're going to click on this, and it now switches from the view where you see your clients and your appointments to a view where you see your availability as the provider. And so what we want to do is create a slot for availability. Now you want to be careful to only put availability where you do not have clients scheduled. SimplePractice prevents double booking, so you want to make sure that your availability and your current client appointments do not overlap. All right, so once you've picked your date and time, we're simply going to go ahead on the calendar, and you can see here that we already have our 12 to 2 availability set. And for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to create another availability on Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and click into the Thursday calendar, and then you're going to see this window pop out from the right-hand side. And we can label this whatever we want. This will not be shown to the clients. This is simply for your reference. So I'm going to put new client phone consult, which will let me know that this slot, this availability is for new client phone consult. And I'm going to select that it happens every Thursday. And we're going to make this slot available from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. So now we have a 2-hour block of phone consultation availability. And we want this to only occur on Thursdays. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that all the other days are unchecked, meaning they look white. And the one day that we want is checked off with blue. So here we see that Thursday is checked off with blue. And then we're going to have this just repeat on our calendar indefinitely. You can always go back and delete this or adjust this later. But for now, we want to have recurring availability every Thursday from 10 to 12. as far into the future as possible. Now, a quick tip for you is that you can actually create different locations inside of SimplePractice. So you can actually create a phone consultation location so that when a client logs in online, the location displays as phone consultation. That way you prevent confusion, because if they go in and they see that it's an office address, they might think that it's in person. Or if they see a virtual office address, they might think that it's going to be a video conference call. Now, if it is in person or it's a video conference call, then great, you can make sure that these stay the same. However, it's a phone call, you want to make that really clear for the client. So in another video, you can learn how to create different locations, and you can see that here. And so for the sake of this video, we're going to check off a telehealth. That way the client knows that this is not an in-person visit. And then finally, you want to make sure that you add the service that you created. So you'll simply click Add Service, and then you can go ahead and select the service that we just created. Initial phone consultation, no charge. So this will be very clear for the client. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and click Save. And then our final step is to make sure that this works from the client's perspective. So what we want to do is go to our client portal website, and you can find that address in the settings over here. We're going to go to the left-hand side and click Settings, a client portal. And at the very top, you're going to see a link to your client portal website. You can go ahead and click this, and then we're going to see our client portal. We're going to click I'm a new client, and then you'll see that the initial phone consultation shows up, right? We're going to select that. A new client phone consultation location. We know that this is not in person, and then we're going to click Select. And then finally, we see here our availability, and a client will be able to schedule that, no problem. It's that simple. That is how you create a 2-hour block of time for online scheduling. I hope that video is helpful for you. Please do go ahead and like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about SimplePractice and how to use this platform, you can go to support.simplepractice.com.